Folks.
We have Mary Kenniston sitting with me in the box. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So we're going to commentate this match, and then you guys are going to have Daniel and Jimmy back for the next match. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to Mucci for sponsoring Daniel to come out here. Thank you for Ruminer for putting on this event. They've done a fantastic job. They've been doing it for 28 years now, this event.
Played in the first several events that
oh,
they had.
wow.
Yeah, I remember.
Amazing. There's usually one or two women in the fields.
Well, in those days, I was the only one.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
I'm
nice
glad
to see more.
There's a few more. Yeah.
Yep. And we had a woman win the beat her last weekend, Mary Kaufman, fantastic player. And I believe they have already started. Mitch won the break, so Mitch will be breaking if this gets to Hill. And he didn't break as well in his match against Shane. He scratched on the break twice against Shane last match, but he made a ball and has a shot at the one here.
He's got a shot at the 1-9, I think.
Absolutely.
And he's going to ride it anyway.
He tried for it. He didn't quite get there, but he did end up with
got a little bit of a roll.
A little bit of a roll, yeah. I mean, Warren can see the ball, so I see a safe coming.
Warren can bank that straight back and get shape on the next ball. He's shooting it.
Yeah. The 4-7. He's got to avoid the 4-7 coming around for it, but yeah, it's definitely a makeable shot. The 3's not in the way.
Boy, it sure looks like he's queuing for it.
It does.
He also could be going 2 rails.
It does.
Yep, that's what he's. Oh, he
wow, I didn't even.
Excuse me.
Yeah, well, and you got to remember, guys,
monitor,
we can't actually see the table. We can only see the monitor, so it looks a little bit different from our view.
Well, he shot the ball in the hole and went into the balls.
Yeah, and let's give you guys a better look. Let's give you that straight on view. We don't have anything going on that second table, so we'll probably stick with this view for a minute.
I think he can only hit a portion of it. I don't think he can see the whole. Yeah, okay.
And
good safety.
That's a beautiful shot by Warren. That's right where he wanted to be. I mean, obviously you want to be frozen, but I think in this situation, I think he did just fine with what he had. He ended up really close to that 2-ball.
I really love Warren's game. I've been watching him now for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And he has really. I mean, he was always a really good player.
Yeah.
But I think he's made that leap into the great player
crossed
status.
Over that plateau.
Yes, into great player status. And, I mean, if you watch him, I mean, he hardly ever misses a ball. He hits everything so gently, just hard enough. He reminds me of the way Buddy Hall used to play.
Yeah, well, and the thing about him that I was talking about with somebody earlier is his composure is fantastic.
Right. He's got great
He never
composure.
gets too excited when he wins. He never see him slam his cue or beat up on himself when he loses. And pool is such a mental game that's so important, and he has mastered that.
Yeah, I really think he's come into his own.
Yeah.
The last 2 years, and it's great to see because he's older.
Yeah, well, and he won this tournament in '95, so this could be a repeat performance for him.
23 years.
Absolutely.
23 years.
It's hard to believe it's
95 is 23 years.
Yeah, well, and I was 10 in '95, so we're not even going to go about how old it makes me feel because, you know, but I started playing pool in 2005, so he had already, you know, won this 10 years before I even really picked up a cue and started learning.
Right.
And he definitely made quick work of that.
I said yesterday. Now, it's kind of obvious because, you know, I know that a lot of people like a lot of the locals, but in my opinion, the 2 best players in this tournament were Shane and Warren.
Yeah.
And I said, I know it seems obvious, but even with Warren on the loser side,
it's still.
I still think it's going to be Warren and Shane.
Yeah, and I think it really
does.
I'll
tell you what, I think Shane better watch out because Warren is a man on a mission.
Absolutely. I think the final 3 is very telling of the people that have the capability of overcoming the rolls and overcoming the luck and not letting what the other player does affect you when you get to the table, and you really just look at it as your shot every time you get to the table, no matter how it ended up that way.
Right.
They have a lot of composure. And Shane, very similar to Warren, you don't really... He shows a little bit more emotion than Warren does, I've noticed.
Yes.
But he still maintains.
Yeah. He never used to. He used to always have the game face on.
And, but
you know, I know this from competing. You know, I played on and off. You know, I had to take breaks. Life intruded. Then I'd always come back to where I was. You know, within a year or 2, you know, I'd be one of the top players again. But it's hard to. The older you get, the harder it is to maintain that killer, that discipline, that dead-eye stare and complete concentration on every ball.
Every ball, every time. Every time you get to the table, you can't ever lose that composure.
And I think that Shane, even though he still wins quite a bit and he's still a great player, I think he's lost a % or two.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he's getting into his 30s. He's getting,
But, you know, he's been playing, a good 15 years.
A long time for somebody his age to be playing at the level that he's been playing at that young.
Yeah. Well, in my generation, there were quite a few young ones that started at his age and played well for many years.
Mitch caught up. He had an early 9-ball, so score is now 1-1, and it's going to be Mitch's break. So let's see if he can have better results from this break than he did the last one. We know he was first at the table. He did make a ball, but Warren ended up winning that game. So.
Oh, they're asking who's in the booth besides me. So tell them who you are, Stacy.
So this is Stacy, Allsup, local player from Las Vegas. You heard me for about 8 hours yesterday, and then I've been here this morning from noon until Jimmy took over the box. So glad to be back. Excited to be commentating with Mary. Been hearing about her for years, and my first time actually.
Tell us a little bit about your accomplishments.
So I've been playing since 2005, moved here and really fell in love with the game, and I played in the Dock Hill B tournament. I'm actually Mary added to the women's club. We now have 2 women that have won the Dock Hill. Up until last year, I was the only woman to win the Dock Hill, so very excited. Couldn't be in better company. Excited to have Mary there with me. And we have a charity event going on next weekend. It supports a different charity every year. We've done Shade Tree and Safe Nest. This year it's for Wounded Warrior, and I'm a 2-time winner of that event. I will not be playing this year. I'm going to be supporting in other ways, getting some donations for the raffle. But I love pool. Yeah, Mary needs to buy some tickets for this Mucci Q that they were nice enough to donate to support Daniel Strip out here. Again, big shout out to them. And also, again, huge shout out to POVPOOL, Daniel Bush, Geraldine. I know she hasn't been here today, but she was here all day yesterday. Had to put in at least 12 or 13 hours. So thank you to both of those guys driving out here from California to give us a fantastic free stream. And it looks like Mitch is going to have a shot on this 4-ball. And we could see him take the lead here. We could see a new leader in this match.
Yeah. I forgot my readers in the car.
Yeah.
Hi, Mare.
Mary says hi in the chat.
Who is this, Robert? Robert who?
I'm not sure.
Oh, no, not him. The one that says about Shane getting beat by.
Let's take a look.
It was there. Now it's higher. Where I said watch out for Warren, and this guy said he got beat 6-2. But anyway, in response to that, I've just watched the last 4 or 5 matches of Warren, and I think he missed 1 ball.
Yeah.
And he's not making any mistakes. I think he's seeking revenge.
Yeah.
And that's why I said watch out, Shane.
Yeah. Well, and it's true. I mean, and he has the capability to win this tournament.
And he's a great player.
I know Shane's been dominating. If he wins today, he's won 6 out of the last 9.
Amazing?
6 out of the last 9.
Yeah.
That is an amazing accomplishment, but it's not like there was no pros when Warren won back in '95.
There were a lot more pros.
It was
back
Valley
in those
tables.
days.
It was a different format. Again, it was still a winner break format.
This was one of the premier automatic stops if you were out west, and a lot of people flew in from all over the country.
It's a destination event. There was actually some. Oh wow. Mitch just missed that 9-ball.
I saw that.
He didn't leave it easy, but to me, that's an automatic bank. I mean, do you play safe on this, or do you bank it?
You can't play safe. You got to give yourself a chance to win.
I agree completely.
I remember Buddy telling me years ago, Buddy Hall, he said, because I asked him, what would you do here? And he said, well, this is what I do. He says, I weigh the shot, safe or shoot it.
Yeah.
If it's 50-50, shooting it all day long.
And especially at 1-1, it's early in the match.
If you know you bank well, and he says you know you can make this bank, he says you're like 90% to make it. Go for it. Got to give yourself a chance to win.
Yeah.
He says even if you play safe, he says the only time you'll get better than this shot is if they don't hit it at all.
Yeah, because
And
if you
it's
play
hard
safe, you
not
have no
hit it when
chance
it's
to
the
win.
only one on the table.
Yeah.
You have to be
That's-
corner hooked or something.
Yeah, which, I mean,
So you don't
unfortunately,
know
it
what's
happens
gonna
to me
happen.
all the time, but,
Yeah.
you know.
Buddy always used to say, don't ever give up the table if you don't have to.
Yeah, well, and it looks like that's what Warren's going to do. He decided
Yeah,
against the bank. He is
decided
going
to
to
do
play
it.
safe.
Yeah.
And I see Mitch banking this ball. I don't see
Oh,
Mitch
boy, look at
playing
the
safe
speed.
here.
Look at
Mitch
the
is an
speed.
aggressive
Look
player.
at that speed. He put the cue ball right on the end rail.
He hit it perfect. I bet you he plays little one pocket.
Well, Mitch didn't waste any time.
Nope,
Oh, boy, he almost made it.
he didn't get there. Yeah, I didn't figure he was going to play safe.
Yep, see?
Yep, he's not even going to give Warren a chance to shoot it. He's going to concede that game. Score is now going to be 2-0 or 2-1. Warren,
And Warren's breaking. Am I right?
and it's Warren's break. Yep.
This could be fatal.
Yeah, well, and similar to
In a
the
short
last
race?
match, the first half of the last match, nobody won on their own break.
Right.
Shane won on Mitch's break,
Right.
Mitch won on Shane's break, and that's been the case here. They both won on each other's break, and that's what I was going to ask you earlier is, are you a fan of
No.
alternate break or winner break?
No, winner break.
Winner break, yeah.
When you lose, I want you to feel it. I want you racking the balls for me. When
Yeah.
I lose, I'm down there talking to myself and,
Yeah.
and telling pumping myself up for the next game.
Mm-hmm.
When
Yeah.
you play alternate break, if you get behind, it's very difficult to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
And for slow starters like me
Yep.
and many other players,
Yep.
it would be awful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had a rep on the women's tour for don't think you have it won until you
Come
sink
back
that
queen?
final 9.
Yeah, come back
I
queen.
mean, I came back from the dead a million
Oh man,
times.
I've
I
come
won a
back from
tournament
8-1,
the
8-0,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
because it's not over until it's over.
dead. Right. I
You
won
never
a
know.
tournament from the dead, and in the finals, I 11-0.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
WPBA record that will never be broken because
Isn't that
they don't
fantastic?
go to 11 anymore.
Yeah.
But
It just,
I
you know,
don't
it's
like
almost like the
alternate break.
the players that get way ahead tend
it's
to
good for
relax a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, they
Yeah.
don't, they
It's-
lose that attack mentality.
Yeah, I just feel like they're dumbing the game down, and I
Mm-hmm.
also know that the crowd likes to watch packages.
Well, and if
They
you
like
have
to
somebody
see-
that plays well enough to run a
Yeah,
six-pack, isn't that what
right.
you want to see? Don't you want to see that level of
Yes,
play?
Yes.
You know, as a
yes.
spectator,
Yes.
I want to see it. And as a player, I would rather have somebody beat me 6-0 and play absolutely amazing.
Right, if they ran out
then-
the set on you, how would you
I mean,
like it?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be like, listen, I never missed a ball.
Right.
I never missed a ball. They played so
And
good.
I've done that too, ran
And-
5 and out, 4
and
and out, 3
I
and
don't
out.
mind
Yeah.
at all losing to somebody that plays great. You know, you can't be mad at it. You can't really walk away with your head low or anything because they played amazing. They deserved it.
Right. See, people compare this game to golf and all the other sports.
Yeah.
And they say, well, in tennis, you get your serve too, and in golf, you get to try it for a hole in one too.
Uh-huh.
But the thing is that this game is so different
Yeah.
than
Well-
any of those other. I played sports my whole life.
And that's one of the things that I talked
And-
about yesterday, that I've never found anybody that can find a competing statement to it, that pool is the only game in the world
Unique.
where you can lose without
And
ever
never get out of the
participating.
chair. That's right.
the only sport in the world where
That's
that
right.
happens.
That's right.
And I've never
And
had
people
anybody come
say-
up with anything.
And then people say, well, yeah, see, that's why. But no, if they played good enough
Yeah.
to beat you that badly,
They deserved it.
not only did they deserve to get to play and get to do that,
Yeah.
but the crowd, for the crowd to witness that.
That's what they want to play, and that's what's going to put pool back in the forefront,
Right.
you know?
They've made it so boring,
Yeah.
and they've just dumbed it down.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy was talking last match about the death of the spot shot.
Uh-huh.
I agree with him.
And you know what's funny is the year that I won this tournament, I shot 3 shots before every match. I shot 3 spot shots. I shot 3 length of the rail, cue ball froze on the rail shots, and I shot 3 straight back draw shots. That was my warm-up for each match the year that I won, because I feel like those were 3 of the shots that
You
would
had to
make
shoot
you
'em.
straight in draw shots. Cue ball on the rail and spot shots. Those are 3 key shots that I knew that if it came up in the match, I wanted to be confident in making those shots, you know? Yeah, a lot has changed in pool.
Change. That's why this pool is circling the drain in this country.
So
because
that's my
they've-
next question for you. What do you think about true double elimination? Do you think that it should be true double? Because ESPN matches, televised
and no.
matches, they have a
I know.
one
I know
race
how it
that,
works.
you
I've
know,
played
yeah.
tournaments before.
Oh, yeah.
Short races like this,
Mm-hmm.
I think true double elimination is fine.
Yep.
In long races like we used to play,
Race to 9, race to 11.
No, because if you most of the time when you come from through the loser side, you're playing many more matches
Yep.
than the winner.
You already warmed
You're
up.
exhausted,
Mm-hmm.
and usually, even if you manage to win the first set, it's very rare to see that same person win the second one because they put everything into that first one.
Yeah,
Now they
just to
gotta
have
do
a
it again.
chance. Yeah.
And it's and I also think it's kind of anticlimactic too.
Mm-hmm.
Just extend the race and let them play for it.
Yeah.
And then when it's over, everybody can go home. And tournaments, you know, they used to get over at 3 or 4 in the morning when they were playing double elimination, true double elimination. You know, in the long races. And I mean, it was ridiculous. There'd be like 7 people in the crowd.
Yeah.
And so that's why they changed it originally.
Yeah.
Was to you know have an end.
Yeah.
You know, and make it earlier.
And I agree completely because, you know.
But in short races like this, I think it's fine.
Yeah, because it's a short race. It's a bar table.
And it's right. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, bar table makes a big difference. The games go by a lot faster. And you can see this was Mitch's break. He broke and ran. This is the first time we've had somebody win on their own break. And so he's now going to go up 3-2 over Warren. And he'll have the hill break if it gets to that point, but for now it's going to be Warren's break. There's some interesting things going on in the chat, for sure.
I can't see much of them. I don't have my glasses here. I see Big B said hi to me, though.
Yeah.
But anyway.
People talking about socks. I don't know what socks have to do with
what are they
with
saying
this,
about
but
sex?
No, socks.
Oh, socks.
Like socks, holes in socks, and
what are they saying?
I something
read
about pinky toes poking out of socks. Yeah, sounds like it has nothing to do with pool, but
I don't know what he's talking about.
yeah. Mitch is an outstanding player, and they've both played great to get to where they are. We've talked about it all weekend. Getting to the final 8, even the final 16, making it to Sunday in this tournament is truly an accomplishment because no matter how many local B players are sprinkled in, there's always a very, very high caliber of player across the entire field in this event. It's a tough tournament every year. And this is Warren's break again. Looks like he came up a little bit short on that 2 ball. I'm sure he'll figure something out, though.
Well, he'll be all right, I
yeah.
think. He's, like I say, I saw him miss 1 ball, and it was
in
an
like 4
unbelievably
matches.
tough shot.
Yeah.
He came up a little on that one.
And that was a tough shot, but
Yeah.
he got a decent roll. Mitch is probably going to bank this in and come long rail, short rail, long rail for shape back out on the 3. Wow. Instead of using that first long rail, he just decided to draw back out of the bank.
Well, he didn't want to. He wanted to stay away from that 6 down there, or whatever that ball is down there.
Yeah, the Skittles balls.
Yeah,
Cyclop.
the black one, I guess it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is another thing. Why did they change the colors of the balls?
I
mean, it's so ridiculous.
I agree completely.
Nobody I know.
Yeah.
First of all, they said they did it for television.
It was
all
one
I
thing
can
when they came out with the
say is they
Aerosmith
all
TV
look
balls.
Like that one he just pocketed, and this one
looks
over
the
here,
same.
they look the same. The red and the yellow, the red and the orange look the same.
It was one thing taking
and
the maroon
6 and the
7.
8, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
they
that
took
was-
the
that
maroon
was
7,
bad
turned it
enough.
into a light brown 7 when they had the TV balls, you know.
Yeah.
But
I'm good. I got one. Thank you. Oh, and here, just give me 3 of those raffle tickets.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the balls.
This is my opinion, and I think it's the same as with jump cues. They push in jump cues because they want to sell more jump cues. They're pushing new balls because they want to sell more ball sets. End of story. It's all about the money.
Yeah.
Like everything else.
Yeah, it doesn't. Don't fix what's not broken. There was nothing
But,
wrong
you
with
know,
Aramis. There was nothing wrong with Centennials.
There's nothing wrong with somebody else making new balls. Just don't change the colors.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many times I've turned off a not so clear stream because I have no idea what they're shooting for next, and I can't stand it because I mentally play along in my head, and I don't even know what they're shooting, what they're playing shape for.
I've had to play, these balls came out when I was still competing. I've kind of taken a year and a half, 2 years off of competing.
I've never hit a ball with
but
them.
These balls came out when I was still competing, so I've had to play quite a few events with them. And I've been cycloped. That's what Daniel calls it. I've actually shot the wrong ball when playing a match when I'm right there next to the balls and still ended up getting confused and shooting the wrong ball. So I see it. It's happened to me, and I agree. I don't think there was any reason to change the colors. I think it was easy enough to tell between the 7 and the 8. They could have lightened that maroon a little bit, but yeah, they didn't need to be turned into pastel Easter Skittles colors. Mitch hit that ball with a lot of finesse to make sure that he still had a shot on the 2, but it looks like he might have to shoot it in the opposite pocket that he planned on shooting it in. And he's a lefty, so this shot is a little bit more difficult for us lefties. You got to get up on the table.
Yeah, I've always admired people that can shoot opposite-handed.
Yeah, I cannot. I'm a lefty at heart. I can't even shoot a ball right-handed. Can't even come close.
Yeah, I can't
but he hit that well.
Left-handed.
He hit a left-handed. He just got up on the table and,
Well, he is left-handed.
Yeah. Yep.
So it was no problem.
No. If you were right-handed, he wouldn't have to sit on the table. But he made the adjustment that he needed, and he was good to go. And I think the 4 passes by the 6, no problem. And if he wins this is going to put him on the hill, and we will have a rematch between him and Shane. It could happen. He was talking earlier yesterday that when he wins, he wants to go to Texas State Brazil. So we'll see if his...
He wants to what?
Texas State Brazil. It's a restaurant here in town where it's they just keep bringing meat to your table until they tell you to stop. So he's already planning his victory dinner. That's how confident he was going into today. We did see an uncharacteristic miss from him with that 9 ball, but since then he's kind of regrouped and haven't seen any misses from him since. I think that's the only ball he's missed so far this set. So we now have Mitch ELLERMAN, Hill, 5-2.
Isn't it 5?
5-2.
What's the score? Can
5-2.
you see it? Looks like 5-3 to me.
Yeah, nope, we got 5-2 over Warren KIAMCO. And the winner of this is going to have to beat Shane twice. Warren is a previous winner. For Mitch, this would be a first-time winner if he happened to take it down. And for Shane, this would make 6. And if Shane were to win, this would be 6 out of 9 tournaments. And we have a lot of people in the crowd that would love to hear you commentate with Jimmy for the next match. So, who knows?
Daniel said he was going to do it.
He did, but they said they want Daniel out and you in.
Oh, is that what they're saying?
That's what they're saying, yep.
I think Jimmy and I make a good team. We're both old schoolers. We'll tell you like it is.
Absolutely, yeah. You have a lot of the same philosophies, and I don't disagree with him.
We came from the same time. He's
I agree
a few years older than I am, but he was already a great player when I started playing in the events.
I know he's very adamant about the jump cues, and I agree completely.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if other players are going to be able to use them, I'm going to use it because it's going to,
I use one
but,
too, but
I was
don't
raised.
Like it.
I didn't start jumping till 10 years after I started playing because I got taught. The person that taught me how to play taught me that if you should be able to kick at everything. You should know how to kick at every ball.
Yeah, I spent a lot of my time.
Yeah.
Learning how to kick, and now they just go pink. They pop over it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
I didn't even own a jump cue till about 4 or 5 years ago for the same
one.
reason.
It was given to me. I wouldn't buy one.
Yeah. So you got somebody gave it to you? Yeah. Well, mine's my break cue. My break cue breaks down into a jump cue, and I don't use it very often. But Mitch definitely not happy with that. He ended up. He may be able to see the edge of the 3 ball. We'll see. So let's see what he decides to do here. Again, with the angle, we can't really tell if he can see the 3 ball or not, but I think he's looking at where the 3 ball is going to go after he hits it to make sure that Warren has no shot.
He's got to be careful he doesn't scratch down here in the corner pocket. He catches underneath just right. He's
Absolutely.
Oh, no, he's coming this way. Well, the same thing, though. Yeah, you see, he stopped it.
He was going for the 9 ball there.
Yeah. Well, he was trying primarily to stop his cue ball.
Yeah.
He knew that other balls were all going over to that other side, and so he thought he might be able to get a decent roll out of it. Now, this is like that shot last time. I can't tell if he can cut it in or if he's going to bank it one rail.
Yeah,
well, he can't bank it.
I tell you what, I really don't think he can cut it in, but maybe he'll prove us wrong.
Yeah,
Who
well,
knows?
Like I said, this is like the one that Warren shot last time.
Yeah, man.
Right okay.
And he decided to lay up a little bit. Yeah. Played it good. Mitch can't see it. And they haven't gotten rid of the magic rack yet. What are your thoughts about the magic rack? What do you?
Well, it certainly speeds up the racking.
Yeah.
I have a problem with racking your own balls. I would have loved to have somebody rack the balls for me when I was traveling all over the country and playing on the road and everything.
Most of the events you played were rack your own?
Well, even just the action.
Yeah. Yeah.
We never played rack your own.
Yeah.
When you win a game, you get to rest, you get to have a sip of your water, you get to walk around while your opponent is laboring over the rack and doing her best to get, and then hoping that she gets a shot after the break. It's a completely different game now.
Mitch almost made the 7, but didn't, and left Warren wide open on the 3 ball.
But anyway,
it speeds up the game, but at the same time...
Speeds up the game, but I would still, like I say, I'm old school.
Yeah.
I tell you
There's
what I
nothing
saw.
wrong with playing the game the way that it was originally...
It's supposed to be played that way.
Yeah. Yeah, technology is not always...
I saw something a year or so ago on the stream from Japan or China. I'm not sure which. And they had the rack. It was built right into the cloth.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know what it was stamped in or
Well, they had
whatever.
the startle rack for a long time that would do the same thing. They used to use that here for quite a few years.
Yes, I know they did.
There was a lot of controversy over that.
That people paid to make you use.
Yep.
That they called sponsors.
Yep.
But no, this was part of the cloth. There was
Really?
nothing to pick up or anything else. It was
Wow.
in the cloth. Now, I don't know if it was ironed on if it was, or what. But all they did was take the balls and go boom, 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 and they'd check to make they were all frozen, and then boom. No magic rack to pick up, or if you can't get it out of the way, it doesn't roll right over it. And
no 5-pound starter rack to carry around with you. No, none of that.
Yeah. But anyway.
You would think, I would love to see something like that now, Oh,
I thought it was a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah, again, because
And you don't see the corner ball flying in all the time either. Now, I don't know if they...
Yeah, it shouldn't be automatic, right? You should have some skill.
High on the spot, so that it jawed a lot, but it didn't go in. It did go in if it got kicked in. But anyway, I watched the tournament for like a day and a half, and it was very cool.
Yeah.
And I've never seen it again.
And where was that at?
Some tournament in Japan, big tournament, China
Wow.
Open or something like that. All the tournaments are over in Asia now. Big ones.
So Warren's going to win this one, and Mitch is going to have a couple more chances to close it out, but the score is going to be 5-3. Mitch concedes that. He says, Warren, you can make that. I believe you. I'm going to give it to you. And it's going to be Mitch's break. So let's see if Mitch can repeat his break and run from 2 racks ago.
Okay, he says they glue the magic rack down.
Some rooms in Japan glue the rack down.
Yeah, but what I saw, they did close-ups of it, and it didn't look like a glued-down magic rack. It looked like an iron-on. Except it was very thin.
Yeah. Thinner than probably the magic rack. It probably wasn't plastic. It was probably more of a...
Yeah. It was like a film.
Yeah.
And I watched balls roll over it, and I didn't see any deviation like you see when the magic rack is left there.
Yeah. They're talking about how you would fare in a match against Jimmy on the table.
What did they call the Siegel Strickland match a couple of weeks ago? What was that? The Battle of the Legends. Hey, how you doing, Dave?
Yeah, they're saying
yeah.
They're saying he brags as much as Siegel does. Jimmy brags as much as Siegel does.
Oh boy, I'll tell you what, Siegel never shuts up.
Yeah.
He's tough.
So this was Mitch's break, and
right. Yeah. Meanwhile,
not sure what happened. Warren's shooting. It was Mitch's break. And he shot that in like it had eyes, and I think we're going to see a 2-9 combo here. Yep.
Jimmy doesn't have a tendency to take over the commentary, but I know how to handle him.
Yeah, I don't think you would have any. Yeah, I don't think you would have any problem with him.
We go back a long time.
Yeah. So we now have Mitch up 5-4 over Warren. It's going to be Warren's break, which means if Warren wins this game, Mitch will have the Hill break. Yeah.
I got to tell you about Siegel, though. As far as all games went, an all-around player, I think he was the greatest player of my generation.
Yeah?
American player, yeah. Boy, he played good. And you know how some people just don't look like pool players?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Very unsuspecting.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, they just don't look right when they get down, or walking around or anything. But Siegel, to me, always looked like he had the perfect body for pool. He would stand there at the table, and he'd have his, he'd be having his cue up in the air, and he'd be going back and forth with his bridge hand, right? And then he would just go, and he'd just bend over at the waist, and he'd be right in line, and he'd stroke it a couple times, and boom, fire into the hole, and the cue ball would just dance.
Yep.
And he always looked to me like he was just made to play pool. His body, he just went boom.
So check this out. Warren broke, made a shot on the 1, and he played shape for the 2-9 carom. So we're going to see a Hill match very quickly.
Good match.
So Warren broke, made, I think, 2 balls, and then played shape for the 2-9 carom, hit it beautifully. And now we're going to have Hill action. So
Warren
we got 5-5.
created 2 combinations in his past matches over there, where the balls were tied up, and he nudged. One was on the 9, and he played it where it laid down on the 9, and
very smart.
And played position for it. And the other one, he broke the balls up. One of the balls was needed to complete the combination, and nudged it over where it got in line.
Wow.
He's a very advanced player. I think that he doesn't get the credit that he deserves because all the other Filipino superstars.
Yeah.
But I think he likes that because he's under the radar, and the pool world.
Well, and again,
knows
he's
who
very
he is.
quiet. He's very very low key.
Yeah, I think he just likes going in.
He kind of flies under the radar.
People. Yeah.
He's one of those ones almost like Mike Siegel, where if you don't know him, you don't really expect, because he doesn't have that braggart personality. He's not very over the top. He doesn't talk about how good he is. He just comes to the table and does what he does. And
Billy Johnson, Wade Crean, told me a long time ago, let your stick do your talking for you.
Right? And let's switch back over here. We're going to see his break. So compared to the last break, he made 3 balls on the break this time.
Oh, I can't believe I left my glass.
Wow, he almost made that ball. He went for a kick in the side. And he's going to walk away a little bit disappointed. Had a great break, made 3 balls, didn't have a shot. Came real close to making that ball, but now we're going to see the heart everybody's talking about in the chat with Warren.
Is that the 2-ball?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yep.
So he's got to stun it over to the side.
Yep.
Stay out of the side pocket.
Yep. Try to shoot the 3 in the same pocket.
No, I think he'll hit it hard enough to bounce out and shoot it in the opposite pocket.
Same pocket he's going to shoot the 4 in.
Yes. That's what I think. But, who knows? It's hard to tell. Oh, he went under it.
Wow.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, well, and he hit that with inside, which is I hated. So he uses inside really well.
Yep.
And that's that. If you handle inside like he does, that is the shot, because now you have this pocket, that pocket, or this one.
Yeah, you open up you give yourself more of a chance, more opportunities.
And you don't have to worry about position because the floor is there.
Yeah, and you hear some oohs from the crowd because he hit the rail going in. But
he may go under this whatever
the
that
7
ball is over on the side.
Yeah, 7.
He may go between the 9 and the 6. And
it's a small window between the 7 and the 8 to miss the side.
From here. Okay, he just came.
He drew it back.
That was easy.
Missed the side perfectly.
Yeah, it's hard
came right in between those balls. Yeah, it is.
Just so you know, camera 3 is now exclusive to that table.
Perfect.
And should be good to go.
Well, still a tough one.
He's probably just going to slide it over and take a little bit of a longer shot to the 9 in the right-hand corner, I think.
But like I say, it's, 6-6.
Yeah.
He's got to make sure he doesn't see. He's hitting on the inside. Again, he's going to pocket it with inside. See how?
And he came all the way back across.
Right,
yeah.
He's going to bounce off that rail and be straight in on the
and for me as a B player, that shot scares me because you're putting 2 side pockets into play instead of just 1.
Well, but if you use the inside, you don't go. You eliminate the side pockets.
Yeah.
Unless you hit it terrible.
So congratulations to Warren KIAMCO.
And
like you said, watch out Shane, right? Mitch put up a great fight. He's going to win. Warren's going to win that match 6-5. And then up next, you're going to have Daniel and Mr. Jimmy Mattia commentating. Mary, thank you so much for joining me in the box. It has been a pleasure.
Yes, thank
First
you.
time actually getting the chat with you. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I'm going to go over there and help Daniel raffle off this next cue really quick, and then we'll be back in the action.
By the way, I want to thank Stacy, Allsup, and Andy Hughes for bugging me to come out here and do the live coverage. Really appreciate everything that Stacy and Andy have done. And also to, for all you guys been checking the online brackets, you can thank Amy Kane and Ben Sutherland for doing the online brackets. Very helpful, very useful. Yeah, this is yours, David Moore. Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah. Stacy's going to spread these raffle tickets on the table just so that they get mixed up well. And so many smiling faces. All right, Shane Gambone is trying for number 6. And Warren is yet to win one of these. Oh, he has won one, that's right. What year was that, Andy? 1995, wow. Side bets? Oh, okay. Come on, Jim, pick the ticket. All right, hold on. I'll hold it back. Stacy, pick the ticket. And thanks again, mayoutubetears.com. Okay, John Schwartz. No, I have your phone number. All right, thanks again, everybody, to the Rum Runner staff. Tip your waitress, tip your bartenders. Buy your friend a drink, will ya? All right.
I tried.
Second thought, Juan Campo
Tune in shortly. We will have Daniel Bush and Jimmy Mattia on the stream for you. Daniel's going to adjust some cameras, make sure that you guys have